Hello, full distance model classroom teachers. This is Stacy O'Polly from Madison Elementary, here to just talk you through how your Google Classroom will be set up. One thing we got feedback on from the spring was for parents, it was hard because sometimes there was inconsistency between buildings or grade levels on how things were set up. So the elementary principals have gotten together and have come up with uh, a method that everyone's classrooms will be set up the same way. So I have some documentation I'm going to share with you in a handout. I'm creating this video, and I've created a sample classroom that you can actually go into if you want to look around and practice a little bit more. So the first thing that I wanted just to review is, what does a full virtual students day look like, or a full distance students day look like? Students and teachers will follow the same schedule that the blended teachers are following in the buildings with the kids that are face to face. Students will have live lessons in the AM and meets in small groups or one-on-one with teachers in the afternoon. The purpose of that is if we have to switch models at some point this year, so if we end up going full virtual, or if some virtual kids end up coming back into a blended model, if things get better, we want that schedule to be the same for kids and for kids to know and understand the routine. So if we go between either of those models, they'll know the routines already. So we're asking that you follow the same type of format as our blended teachers. You'll have an opportunity on our Friday collaboration days to work with your teammates that are blended, so you guys can make sure you're being consistent and staying on the same page with each other. The next question is, how is my Google Classroom set up? So in your Google Classroom, when you create your class, you're going to set up in the classwork tab a topic called exploration and practice. And I'm going to scroll down and just show you. So this exploration and practice section is going to have the activities that the kids are going to practice independently on their own when they're not with you. So this is going to be for science, social studies, art, music, PE, ELA, math. So those things that they're practicing outside of their time with you. This is actually the exact same way this section is going to be set up in a blended teacher's classroom. And we did that on purpose because we're actually going to have the same content going to both places, both the full distance and the blended teachers. So you're going to create a topic called exploration and practice. And then for your day-to-day work, you're going to create a daily topic. So we are going to ask that one day is each topic. So I have an example here of September 7th, 2020, and the topic will then hold the practice or the homework that only the full distance students are doing. So for math, phonics, reading, and writing. We're going to ask that you post each of those names of those subjects and then a colon or a dash that tells what it is. So parents easily know, oh, in reading we're doing the character trait scavenger hunt today. So not just scavenger hunt or not just reading. So you're going to set up a topic for each day. Underneath your topic, these are the materials. Okay, just like your topic up here was exploration and practice, your materials are listed below. In the classwork tab, the teacher is going to keep the material visible for 2 weeks. So the week that you're on and the week prior. Just thinking about that Friday to Monday switch. We're only going to keep 2 weeks of material on at a time. So it would be your job at the end of a week to delete the previous week's item to keep the page clean and easy to navigate. Other important information that you're going to need to know. Live Google Meet times. So all Google Meets will be started in the morning with a community circle. And again, this will be the schedule that you'll share with the parents of when all of your classes like reading, writing, phonics, math, community circle are happening throughout the day. In order to keep it easy for parents and not have different Google Meet options for all those different subjects, we're going to ask that you start one Google Meet in the morning and that you're going to use that Google Meet and keep it open all morning. Kids can, when they walk away, can mute their microphones or shut off their cameras. When it's time for a stretch break or a specials break or a little brain break, that they can have some screen time break. But you're going to start the meet in the morning, and all meets are also going to be organized the same way, again, to help parents and kids know what I need to do. So I'm going to give the example of Nicole Thiel, because Nicole Thiel is a virtual teacher from Madison. She's going to be teaching kindergarten. She will name her Google Meet Thiel. So when kids log in, they're going to go to Meet, type in Thiel, and they'll join the Google Meet. That's how she'll join the Google Meet. You'll use that same Meet code of your last name for any small group instruction or any small individual instruction you're going to do in the afternoon. So during community circle and morning meeting time, we are going to ask teachers to review who they're meeting with for the day. So like, good morning, boys and girls. So excited to see you. Don't forget that I'm going to see Johnny, Susie, and Billy today for our meets, and I'm going to see these 3 kids as well. We're asking that you also put those meetings in your calendar that's associated with your classroom. So if parents are confused or want to check, that they can check there as well. So you can see I have an example graphic here of the virtual class meeting, the time that it is, again, reminding parents of the Meet code. And then here are the 3 groups that teacher was meeting with in the afternoon and the times that they're meeting along with the Meet code. So again, just using your last name all the time, I think is going to keep things consistent for families and for kids to know how to join a Meet. We are asking to record your Meet for families so they can access later if they're absent. And I've been working with Jessica Dupre, and she's going to give us some more technology background on how you can pause your recordings when students take a break, so it's not a 3-hour video that families have to watch. Specials. Specialist teachers, art, music, and PE, will record 3 lessons per week and add them to your classroom on the assigned week. They'll post a lesson and give feedback on the work the students are doing, and students will have the same special for the entire week. So I'm going to use Nicole Thiel again as an example. Nicole is a kindergarten teacher, so on week A, her kids will have 3 lessons of art. On week B, her kids would have 3 lessons of music. Week C, 3 lessons of Phi Ed, and you can see the rotation. We're keeping this the same because that's what we're doing in the blended model. So again, it's consistent from blended to full virtual, full distance, I'm sorry. Life skills is every other week. Those counselors assigned to do the life skills lessons also will do a rotation, so you can see that I have that listed here. Specialists and counselors are assigned by grade band for the home school. So again, if I'm using kindergarten as an example, here are our 4 kindergarten teachers. I'm the administrator that's going to oversee that grade band, check in with you, make sure you're okay. And then here's the school counselor, music, PE, and art, all Madison teachers who are going to be providing the lessons for kindergarten. If you're a 2nd grade teacher, your 2nd grade students would see Mr. Hadler for his life skills lessons. So just to have some consistency, I had included this chart as well. So the math, science, social studies, exploration, and practice. The stuff that kids are going to do independently to practice the skills that you've taught. This is the stuff that our blended students will also be doing in the time that they're not face-to-face in school. So I have created a system where the full distance teachers that are watching this video right now will have a place to put a date and extension practice or activity into a Google Doc. In that Google Doc then you're going to put the link to that Google Doc in your classroom. I'm going to scroll up to show you again. Under this exploration and practice, you'll put that link to that Google Doc underneath each of these topics. The thought is that as the Google Doc gets updated, we don't have to go into the classroom and continue to update the links in the classroom. The Google Doc will be automatically updated. So I actually made a video that shows that for our blended teachers, and you can see that linked right here. So I'm going to let you watch that. I've also created a video for parents to know how to understand what that information is for a full distance and for a blended family. So they'll know how to access that information. So I'm going to let you watch that video and talk about it a little bit more on there. I'll include that link that you can see that. Finally, a couple miscellaneous items. In an effort to keep your stream clean and organized for announcements, a couple settings that you should think about just changing as you come in and set up your classroom. So in your settings, there's an option to have classwork on the stream. We're asking that you hide those notifications. Otherwise, anytime you post classwork, it shows up in the stream, and the stream just gets boggled down and gets a lot of sediment in it. Also, we sometimes have found in the spring that kids like to write things like, hi, hello, how are you? So we're going to ask that you change your setting to say students can only comment, not post on your stream, just to keep, again, the stream clean for important announcements. All work for your Google Classroom should be posted by 8 a.m. Monday morning for that week. Here's a list of who you should include as co-teachers in your Google Classroom. And then again, you've seen this before. This is a sample schedule. So this is not the exact times that you'll be using, but a sample schedule. But we want that schedule to match what blended learning teachers are doing and full distance teachers are learning. So you're going to work with your building principal and your grade level team to talk about that schedule, to look at the master schedule and make sure that minutes are consistent. So I've included that here. So this just gives you a brief overview on how to set up your Google Classroom. Now at the top of this document, I also included a code that you can log in to the sample classroom I've created. So this is the example of the sample classroom I've created. If you go under the classwork tab, you can see I have each day set up. I don't have the material in every day, but I have the first day done. And at the bottom, I have the exploration and practice. So you'll be able to see how those things are linked in there as well. I will be available at our Wednesday in-service time to answer some more specific questions about this process, but we wanted to give you some things to get started on prior to that time. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to myself or any of the building principals. Thank you for the work that you guys do. You're amazing.